Hello everyone, welcome back. And in this session, we are going to discuss about dynamic nature of crust, and we will be discussing about continental drift, and thereafter we'll go deal with the post-drift theory. There are certain theories, and based on these theories, that the Earth crust used to see in terms of modern day distribution continents nowadays. Now that distribution is the result of series of development, or the distribution which nowadays result of evolution of our earth crust. As of now, we have discussed about crust. I told you, because of the endogenetic and exogenetic forces, the variability of these forces, our crust is dynamic. Then we discussed about the crust. Then we discussed about the interior nature, or let's say interior or layered wise arrangement of our earth. Then we discussed about rocks and their salient feature, and our crust is basically comprised of those various kind of rocks about which we have already discussed, especially in our last session, last video. Let's continue with this session, and in this session we will have a more insight or more overview regarding the dynamic nature of our. So our crust is dynamic. I hope there is a one set of clarity regarding the endogenetic and exogenetic forces, that based on these two set of forces can say that at one given point of time there will be a creation of crust, and yes, simultaneously there might be a possibility that our crust will be wear down, will be broken, will be eroded, will be withered by the exogenetic forces. So this is being referred as dynamic nature of our. And now we are about to focus that what actually are the theories regarding this dynamic nature, specifically when it endogenetic and exogenetic. Let me recall. Now we are actually discussing about endogenetic forces, those forces which are responsible for creation of crust, and these forces are responsible for upward, downward, compressional and tensional kind of forces on our crust, because of which the crust is actually, while the crust keep on moving with respect to their position, we are dealing with these endogenetic forces. And we are discussing about the slow movement. This is the first thing, and prior to that we have already discussed about the crust, mantle, about the core. We already discussed about rocks, characteristics, and we have already discussed about some sort of aspect regarding to the interior of our earth. That is, moving ahead in slow movement, we will be discussing about drifting of continents. Now, while studying about the drifting of continents or these theories, we will be discussing that how there could be a vertical or horizontal continental or mountain building. We will have a similarity of these kind of features, especially in drifting. We will be discussing about plate tectonics, neoplate tectonism, you can say, or the mantle plume and respective theories. Based on these theories, they are actually covering this particular dimension. They are covering this particular dimension. Thereafter, we will be dealing with volcanism and earthquake with respect of this particular topic, dynamic, just to understand the dynamism of. So this is what the background connect, or let's say to have a continuity with respect to the topics which we are about to cover, or we have already covered with respect to things, and now we are about. All right. So dynamic crust. Our crust is dynamic. Our crust used to change. Our crust has evolved a lot since the inception, or since the birth of earth, you can say. From that time to modern time, crust is phenomenally matured dynamism or this dynamic feature. So surface of our earth or surface of earth, or you can say crust specifically. So this crust is not static, it is not still, it is not we can say situated on a particular place or on a particular position. Crust, or let's say the surface of earth which we used to see nowadays, it is actually a dynamic, is keep on changing, keep on moving. And this dynamic or dynamism nature is obviously because of the variability of endogenetic and exogenetic forces. And when it comes to the earth crust, and I hope you are aware that the crust of our earth can be divided into the two parts. The one is continental crust, and already discussed about this thing. So these continents as well as these oceans have moved throughout the geological history of our earth, throughout the geological time scale with respect to the different ages, with respect to the different time period. The distribution of continents and ocean have been changed, and it is keep on changing with respect to the time. So this aspect is being known as what? Dynamism, or the dynamic nature of our. The distribution of continent which we see nowadays, it is actually a result of evolution of our crust, the changing nature of our crust. Moreover, in order to understand this dynamism, in order to understand that how the continents have been distributed, how the continents have been can say moved, how the continents are not still or not static, or how they are dynamic, let's say, we have certain theories, and through these theories we will try to construct out that okay, in this possible manner the continents might have been distributed, or this is the course of geological history, and based on that we can reinterpret or reconstruct the history, especially the geological history. Theories are not proven facts. Theories are based on certain premises, and based on assumption, I would say, based on those assumptions, these are actually being attempt to decode the particular pattern, the particular which is existing nowadays. So theories should be validated by either evidence, or there must be some sort of quantitative we can say support, or let's say there must be a quantitative validation to that particular, then only that theory could be correct. Otherwise theories are just like stories, theory tales are not credible, which are not true in all extent. So we are about to see certain theories regarding to our earth crust, in order to understand that how there has been a slow movement of continents or slow movement of land masses which are actually being appeared on the crust, or which are actually the part of our top crustal surface.